This is where I think Arc 3 went wrong and why it went wrong. And sorry, I had to burp. Got a bit of gas. Why I think Tui could learn from Arc 3. And what I think Tui could learn from Arc 3. Sorry. For starters, well, Arc 1's main theme is war is bad. Okay, that's kind of obvious. It has a legitimate theme. And it had a lot of other side themes. And Arc 1 did it pretty darn well. And then Arc 2's was more of a mystery, I guess you could call it. You're trying to figure things out. It really kept your toes on edge. Whereas Arc 1 was more like an action adventure. You really had to learn. But really, it's not. What I mean is, Arc 3 doesn't really have either of those as a theme. Bounces back and forth. Already knew what Venom motives want. Arc 3 could be called a mystery, but it's not. And who was in charge, only thing. Really don't know. I guess racism is bad was a theme, which is a good issue. Which is good theme. Only issue is, the other two arcs already had this as a side plot, and kind of makes feel a bit like a repeat. And so it handles it poorly. Next issue I had is it's pretty much a full reboot, especially at the start. Cut off all connection from the other earlier bits of Wings of Fire, and it did it poorly. And that's okay if Protag was well suited for revealing details. Issue is, Blue isn't really the best suited character for that. I just feel he kind of struggled to get introduced, which kind of made the second book fill in the details versus filling in like a side society and all that, which just causes book 2 to be the main introductory book. I'm going to be honest, it didn't do a great job, but dragged potential down to do other things, which it could have been a lot better as a actual secondary introductory book, not the first one, not the main one. And, it kind of drags it down. It's still a great book. It's arguably one of the better ones of Arc 3, in my opinion, but it removes its, second book adds a bit on. It removes that. It has to do most of the work of what the first one would have. And book 13, it has its issues too. It has a lot of problems because it had to introduce a culture all by itself. Culture we don't know about, which is cool, but a lot of that was sidelined for the introduction for Sandu and the introduction of the Breath of Evil, which is it has to be done because the second one wasn't for the introduction of the Leafwings. Plus, Sandu is literally a Tsunami reskin with slight differences in opinions and personality and powers. Would have been interesting to have a truly skilled commander or assassin, one who didn't get distracted by First Pretty Dragon, sees looking at you, Deathbringer, for doing that. And book 14, this one kind of struggled too. Once again, it bounced from Wolf to the Breath of Evil. Now the main villain is kind of gonna be Snowfall. Okay, what? Now, villain kind of Snowfall, come on. Too much. Who is the big bad dragon? She's going back and forth. Plus, Snowfall doesn't make sense for her character jumps way too fast. And why deconstruct wall? It's just useful in case nobody would be invade anyway, but just in case. Okay, I get the whole ranking thing, but keep competition. It doesn't make sense for a brand new queen to be taking gambles that she doesn't know about because no experience. Plus, missed opportunity to see how things differ from middle and low Icewing classes. oh well, at least Lynx was funny and got to understand how multi-tribal meetings worked. But does seem kind of strange, the dragons they sent and go to, and well, at least we got to go see Winter, what he was up to, but it just really felt kind of off, from my opinion. And book 15, it amplified it even more of not making sense. No hate to book 15 fans, but this didn't really make that. This book was really confusing. For starters, Breath of Evil, again, bunch of mixed bag dragons. Quibbly, yep, makes sense. Lynx makes sense. Cricket, but Pineapple of all dragons, Pikachu would have had more experience with dealing issues. And plus, Luna is incompetent and more bam bam slowdowns. And this book, I'll admit, the Scorching was kind of cool. The fact that we actually got to learn about it, but felt out of place. That's my favorite part of the book, however, as finally revealed the mystery of that is Cottonmouth is actually the villain. Sure, it's another change, but it's actually cool and actually kind of makes sense. But it's kind of underwhelming when we had 3 villains change constantly in the arc versus arc 2 where they were all like side people and all that. The epilogue, however, I dislike the most. Everything is fixed. It seems like a bad ending. Arc 1, sure, I felt ridiculous. Well, it wasn't everything fixed. Like, there was still tensions there, and there were still, like, some complications. Arc 3 just felt too perfect. Last but not least, pros and cons of this arc, and what we can learn from it. Okay. Its pros was, it was pretty good at actually describing what characters look like. It was pretty good at describing physical locations, too, and the dynamics of tribal power were interesting. Cons, it's a little too straightforward, good guy, bad guy, and, well, introductory book is bad, basing a whole lot of characters off of one real trait, off of single differences. Characters incompetent and confusing introductions, and plot twist is too sudden without having a long time to build up. What is to be learned and what can be learned from this arc to make arc 4 good? Make sure good introductory book of said arc is actually really good. If adding a new faction, you're gonna really need to really get the details down in the first book. B, make sure characters have some competence to them. Like, you can have them naive, I get that, but you want them to be somewhat competent. C, don't base characters off of just one relationship. I hope Tui doesn't do this with Umber in book 16. It would be good if it was more, per se, a major part of his, like, personality and everything, but not his whole character. Like, there's other things. D, keep dynamics interesting. That's the good thing about Arc 3. But don't make it too simple. Like, you know, Leafwing, like, Silkwing's good, Leafwing, oh wait, dang it, Hivewing. And as for characters again, write competent characters, and you can have them naive, just have them have something useful to them. Like, Sunny is naive, but she knows what she's doing at the end of the day. And finally, how to write plot twists. Don't make this book, like, have bam, bam, have it more, like, slow detail, like we slowly learned more and more about the Nightwings and the whole Rainwing dynamics and all that. Okay, bye, have a great day!